Heyo everybody, it's Johnny5 Alive here and welcome back. We are building up this park one blueprint at a time. Good googly moogly. Took a few days offline to come back and I got some fun statistics for you guys here today. In last episode, I said the rate of which I start releasing these videos and placing these plots is completely determined on how fast you guys and gals are building them. So let's take a look at the tracker here. 133 out of 133 are now assigned. Holy good googly moogly. They were dripping out. They were going a little bit slow, and I even started contemplating, oh, you know what? Maybe next week I will grab myself one of these sci-fi plots and build a little cosmic cow shop or something. Nope, not happening now. But apparently I got this little spot reserved for me. Reserved for Johnny. This one was given to Chant. So I'm still going to get my time to build something here. With that being said, out of those 133, 77 have been submitted. Thank you to Batch, who's been moving the submissions into the actual form, transferring them over, taking what you guys have submitted, transferring it over to the global sheet where everybody can see. And that lets me know that 58% of these plots and creations of the 133 are now ready to be placed. Holy good googly moogly. That means if I could place 77 of them, that would bring us to 60% completion for phase 2. And we only launched this at the time of me recording this only about a week ago. That is crazy. All right, so let's get started. Looking at the tracker, I was like, where should I start? Well, I just scrolled down and I said, you know what? Well, we dabbled in sci-fi. We dabbled in adventure. I'm going to just grab today Western. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But for Western in total, there's only 11. So if I do all 7 today, we'll do mine, Chance, and 2 others. But we also want to update the shooting ride with some voice acting. I'm going to have to contact AKA Superman and the team there that worked on that and see if they still wanted to do their voice acting. So that will be another future update to this area. Then Batch will come in, wants to do some polish and all that. So Western's looking pretty awesome though, and there wasn't much plots. Now, I'm kind of excited about this because whatever we do here today will bring us up to, I'm going to pause it on these trains going through my head. Whatever we do here today will bring us up to like 70% completion for this area. However, it's a lot closer to like 90% because the terrain, the details, everything that's going on here really does elevate this area of the park, not including the plots. So to me, this area just needed some final touches, and those final touches really are the blueprints that we're placing. So let's get started. We're just going to work from the top down. What do I got here? The first one is Svenny Taylor Vision W03. This tiny little guy, this little 50 pieces. 50 pieces. That's a little guy. All right, so we're gonna delete the setup guide because it should have. I mean, it's got to be the smallest one right here, right? Yeah, W03. Holy good googly moogly. This tiny little guy. They do have a description on the workshop here. What does it say? Hey everyone, since the scene is placed right before Miss Ellie's ride, I thought it would be fitting to provide some context related to it in order to maintain law and order in this town. Miss Ellie constructed a gallows long before the town was even established. Her intention was to ensure criminals were punished accordingly. The man you see hanging in the gallows is a former town mayor who made the mistake of beating Miss Ellie at her own shooting ride. That's hilarious. Unfortunately for him, Miss Ellie didn't take this very carefree, so he paid for the ultimate price as well as the entrance fee. Wow, that's incredible. Let me get this lined up and then we'll take a look at it. All right, I think I got it about as good as I can. Let's go ahead and delete these cubes. And what do we got going on here? The gallows. Oh, that is hilarious. Fun little backstory there. Didn't expect that. 50 pieces. This is actually pretty darn incredible, Mr. Sveni. What do we have here on the workshop or on the page here? It says it was a beginner. I don't know if the actual builders... I recognize the name Sveni, so I don't think they're actually a beginner. Might be a builder or higher, but this looks great. Wow, what you can do with 50 pieces in this game is quite surprising. That's actually quite cool. The gallows, the hangman mummy. This is like a really good little centerpiece. I like it, and it's right next to Miss Ellie's quick draw. I think it ties it together. It's great little scenery polish for the front of Miss Ellie's quick draw. I mean, hats off to Sveni. This looks incredible in my opinion, and a great little blueprint to get the episode started. So we're currently placed at 6% in the park. By putting this placed in the park, we're now at 7%. With 133 total, it's about 1% per blueprint that I place. Now, some of them are larger than others, so I would say this is more on the smaller end towards completion. But we have some big ones here today. Let's see. Next up, we have Advanced Builder, not Dana XO. Dana, what do you got for us here today? You have plot W04 right next door. Our next door neighbor. It has a very interesting plot shape. We want to be lower on this end, higher on this end. I mean, it has max heights and stuff like that. So what I would imagine this here to be is either a balcony or some scenery looking to be a little bit like this. Probably some sort of a building, Western house of some sort. So let's see what Not Dana has done for us with their creation. Anything on the workshop about Not Dana's creation here? Let me find out. Not Dana, Not Saloon. Welcome to Not Dana, Not Saloon. This is a Western themed saloon. Oh, apparently I have Discord not muted. Let me go ahead and mute that real quick while I'm doing this. This is a Western themed saloon created for Channel 5 Gaming, Project Planko. The name comes from a joke some fellow Project Planko players made about my username, which gave me the idea for this saloon. I'm trying to like read and line this up at the same time. I mean, it's not a saloon. Or is it? She says. All right. I think I got that lined up pretty good. Look at this. I kept the bounding box in, and that's actually kind of interesting because now we can actually see the measurements of how that all worked out. Looking great. Fit the bounding box literally perfectly, and as I said, we'll have some sort of balcony or decoration down below. Nailing your volume cube and concept is Not Dana, or not nailing it. And Batch did a great job of kind of like setting that up and envisioning what would go there and setting those rules for builders, and the builders were able to conceptualize that and turn it into reality. And this looks really good. Not Dana, not a saloon. I'm not mad at it at all. That is great. Do we even need... Oh, yeah, I forgot the builder signs. I'm going to even need your builder sign? You're literally on the front of the Not Saloon. Oh, wow. We got these little doors here. Let's go on in. Is that you over there, Not Dana? Having a drink? Look at this. This is quite cozy. It's not a saloon, but you can get yourself a drink here. It's more like a shed. Shedmire. I mean, it looks so... It's kind of quaint and adorable, like how small the interior is and cozy, but the actual build itself looks quite like a normal, prominent, little Western building. It's deceptively small. It doesn't look small on the outside, but it is really, if you think about like this, the size of one of these shops and facilities in the custom, that's a 1x1. That's what we call it when we dress up a 1x1, because the grid, you can see that's a grid cube underneath the shop, and it's 1 tile by 1 tile. So if you were to decorate this and kind of add some walls to it and a bit of decorations, you end up having a building about this size. So this is actually kind of like a 1x1, but it actually it's quite prominent. I like it. Very good build here by Not Dana. I like the little patchy boards on the backside. Very good. great little props. These Western props are quite fun. As I'm looking at this Western area come together, I'm very surprised how rare these Western theme parks are. Between park spotlights and themed areas within parks, Western doesn't get a whole lot of love. What ends up happening, people just like lean into steampunk and go crazy with the steampunk. And I'm really liking how cozy and quaint our little Western area is becoming. And I think it's a very good representation of Western in Project Planko. In PlanCoaster. Wow, that's great. Looking really, really good. Amazing work on this one, not Dana. It's not a saloon, or is it? I love it. Okay, let's get this one placed. We got that placed. We'll check it off. The next one we got is a beginner named Waffles in the community. Oh yeah, and Dana had 300 pieces to build this one. Waffles had 100 pieces, and they're doing W05. I'm assuming W05 has got to be somewhere around here, right? I mean, there's only like 5 to choose from. W05, there you are, next to the Z4 station. Does this one actually have a cube? I wonder if we're using that. Yeah, mine doesn't have a cube either. Maybe all 3 use this one cube, so I might want to keep this one around. What I should probably do for this cube here is recolor it, just so yeah, let's go blue. That should be fine. Include me in blueprint for more precise placement. That is correct. Okay, so you had 100 pieces to go with. W05. Let's change the time of day to like 11 a.m. Yeah, we get some more light in here on this side of the park. All right, so it's very interesting. It's like a scenery build. You can't really access it. The coaster goes by it. It's wedged between a coaster station and a roller coaster. I'm gonna leave the volume cube here because I don't know if the bounding box was included with it. So we're looking for somebody named Waffles in here for W05. Some people haven't been naming their stuff W05, which is making it somewhat difficult. Wait, why it does have this is W05, right? Why is there a volume cube over here? If I go back, when I delete a volume cube for Dana's building, did it delete one over here? No, it didn't. Huh. So when we previously did phase 1, we had QA testers, to Mona Lisa mostly, helping out with, double checking. Does this get placed? Does it get placed easily? We're not really doing that this time around. And if I see a major issue, I'm just going to send it back. And sorry if I have to do it live in the video and leave that in, but I think it's part of the process, right? Like if I say I don't like this, send it back. It's a lot easier than me typing out a whole message, sending screenshots. It's in the video. I'm not trying to do it to expose anybody or, light someone up. It's just like, no, this isn't working for me for XYZ. Here's the explanation. Get it fixed, get it back to us, and no big deal. So I feel like this is kind of what's going on here. Align with the edge of the high noon station. Join to path. That looks about right. And looking at the cube here, it kind of, I want to overhang it a little bit. Yeah, I think that's quite fine. So, I mean, pretty good job at including your own volume cube there. I guess there wasn't one for you, so you gave me some sort of like an instruction, which was helpful, very, very helpful in my opinion. And okay, maybe I could have sunken it in a little bit more. Well, yeah, I mean, nothing a little bit of terrain tools can't fix. Go into the sculpting, we take the size down, the intensity down. We're just gonna brush this in. Whoops, we need a proper color. Take some red rock. Why is it changing color is it always default to green even when you have a different color selected? It's annoying. There we go, nice and even. And I'm just gonna have to paint it back. Dry up that grass a little bit. There we go, it's fine. Just some little integration. Maybe I can push this part in as well, just so that window isn't jutting into the terrain there. I'll just paint that back there. All right, looking good. Actually, kind of want to use this darker rock. Yeah, that looks good. Better. Okay, yeah, while it doesn't have, I kind of like that, you can walk from the terrain and get onto here. It does give it a little bit of immersion. Look at that. Very interesting dynamic volume cube to work with. It's a cube building. Again, it's like a 1x1, but a tower. I like it. I like it a lot. And the choice of wood I'm looking around at this western area. Between the wood, the windows, the boards, there's a lot of variety in Planet Coaster in terms of wood. And no two buildings are the same. Like, look at Dana's here. It's kind of got this like worn out texture here. And then Batch's here, I believe Batch made this one, has these kind of high detailed ones that are going vertically instead of horizontally. And then these ones are also horizontal, but also completely different. There's a lot of wood in this game. What about the boarding station here? Yeah, they all look different. I didn't realize how much diversity there is in wooden shingles, wooden panels. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, this is a solid build. It does the job. It's quite quaint. It's cozy. I like that it's a little tower. It says trading post. Kind of makes sense. You got a train going by. You have a train station over here, and it fills in the area quite nicely. Gives it a little bit more scenery. Closes the kind of pinches the coaster together. You know, gives you some scenery on both sides as you're coming down the coaster here, and that actually looks pretty darn cool, I must say. All right, I can't wait to ride this coaster again when all of this whole area is completed. Wow, so great little build there from one of our beginner builders. I don't know if it's a beginner build by Waffles, but I recognize the name Waffles. I think that they're higher than a beginner. And moving on, we have Western Scene 06. So where's 06? I mean, there's not a lot left. Oh, there's a little one right back here. Wait, are you kidding me? When did this cube get placed in here? I'm kind of confused. There's like a wooden cube. Wait, this is like a perfect 1x1. Somebody's supposed to build something here? I didn't even know this one existed. That is adorable. Oh my god, we're getting all the little dinky rinky dinky ones in here. Coaster Croots. Hey, Coaster, I recognize the name. I was commenting that Coaster Crutz, is it? I don't even know. They did one, I want to say for sci-fi, right? It's been a week. My memory is shot now. All right, well, what do we got here? So we have a 50-piece little build. What am I looking for? A mine shaft lift. Okay. Yeah. And Coaster Croots has included their build by sign, which I've forgotten to include with the other, or put down for the other ones. Oh, I forgot to mention at the end of the last video for Adventure, I'm pretty sure some people were probably mentioning this in the comments, that I forgot to put the builder signs in, and I added them in after. Yeah, so there's builder signs for all of those ones now. So if I forget, I'll go back and do it, even though it's not included in the video. That's quite okay. And how do we align this? There's no indication. I mean, it's pretty much the same on all sides. So I think we just slide it in. So she said, but wait, if the sign is on the coaster track, that doesn't make sense, does it? And why is there like a pre-built wooden thing? Am I supposed to slide it like right on in? I think we need to rotate it, angle snap on 45 degrees, possibly, right? And then the light from the mine shines forward. That seems more fitting to me. Let's see what they say on the workshop. Hi, Johnny. After seeing the sci-fi placement video, I realized I didn't give you a setup guide. I'm really sorry. This build just uses an alignment cube. Hopefully that works well. Well, yeah. Well, I think so. I just don't know which way it's supposed to be aligned and if I'm supposed to drop it right down to here. Well, I mean, I think now that this sign is basically touching the ground, right? That would make the most sense. And I think the mine train should come up to whatever this box is, which I think it is. I could be wrong. Let's place it and see. I'm going to delete this setup guide. So that's what I was kind of confused by. I don't think this box is supposed to be here. Yeah, that looks proper to me, right? That looks more proper. But I think it makes more sense that the mine light is shining forward. I'm not too crazy about the seaweed. How did seaweed get up there? I guess it's a little bit of grime and algae from rain or something. Whatever. Maybe there's like a floor piece down here. What's this floor piece for? Oh, wait. Was that supposed to go on top of the cube? It doesn't really make sense to have this, should we go that high? This one's very confusing to me, guys, because then the sign is floating. That sign could just literally be there for whatever reason. I'm just gonna sink it in until that like that piece is gone, right? And I don't know how high they were supposed to build this. I think having a little bit lower makes more sense, but I don't want these supports to be in the ground either. So that's my happy medium right there. And then your sign, well, yeah, we'll just move the sign. Right there should be fine, right? Maybe try to center it a little bit, put it in the shade, done. Well, if I did that wrong, whichever way you look at it, well, maybe this, would this help? What's north? I don't know if this would exactly, I mean, west should point towards western, right? Maybe? Let's, just for fun. Well, if I were to think what would be north in the park? We have a winter area over there, but you can't get it to be, west this way and north that way, can we? No. We're gonna point to west. In fact, isn't this backwards? This design? Isn't it supposed to go northeast, southwest, right? News? Why is it backwards? Is that, yeah, it's backwards, isn't it? Huh. Am I crazy, guys, or did I just find a bug? North, and then if you go east, northeast, southwest, the west and the east are backwards. And this guy should be pointing north. Huh. That's very interesting to me. I feel like I'm going crazy looking at that. Anyways, the build is cute. I like it. It does its job. It's a little, I mean, you didn't have many pieces to work with. And I think with the pieces that you used, you created a nice little mine shaft thingamajig. Where am I going? I'm going to take one of these builder signs and bring them on over. And we'll do some builds. Not Dana, Exo. Actually, maybe it's kind of covering up some of those doodads. Maybe just having it on the front or the back side. When you're working with these tiny little builds, these builder signs start to be like kind of massive, right? But yeah, originally I was like, let's not include the builder signs because they kind of detract from the theme park. You know, you're going through and seeing these signs everywhere, but it's a community project, so it's good to include them. Yeah, it's fine. It's when it's on these big builds like this, it's less noticeable, but like it's half the size of the building on this one. All right, I'm looking at my recording. It says 31 minutes. You guys like the longer episodes. You guys like watching me do everything, the process, and when I edit things down, I just edit out, like whenever I'm not talking, I just edit, like I just cut between all of the, what do you call it, audio peaks in Premiere. And sometimes I'm just doing my thing and I'm quiet and that gets cut out. So when that says 30 minutes for me, it's probably like 20 for you because of all the finagling I'm doing and looking over at my sheets and stuff. So I think we could keep going. Let's see what we got next. We got a W09 bridge train by Petite Poise. Let's go. Oh, and I didn't read what this guy said on the workshop page. Waffles for Project Planko, alignment cube as well. Okay, that's fine. And we have the bridge. This bridge is for Project Planko, but feel free to use it. Instructions. There is a trigger that needs to be that's not even a word. Bestivated by the train. I think they meant to be like activated. Bestivated. But the trigger point at the beginning of the bridge set closest to trigger where the planks start. W09, that's not W09. This is. Okay, so this one has a tree, and I'm wondering if we're using the tree as our alignment. I'm gonna leave the volume cube in because it helps kind of like determine the volume of the bridge. This one's a bit tricky. There's all these like dilapidated boards. This bridge is falling apart, guys. Well, the volume, see, yeah, if we look at the volume cube is kind of off-centered. So I'm gonna go against the volume cube and just center the bridge. I think it makes way more sense to have that train tracks running right down the bridge. And with that, I also think it makes sense to have the train track boards on top of these dilapidated boards. But hard to eyeball because I'm like looking at a bounding box. I think this should be fine, I hope. And then we're gonna place it, delete the cube, see how it looks. Let's get rid of this blueprint thing. It's definitely scraggly. Yeah, it's falling apart. Who builds a bridge like this? I guess it's Petite Poise. Just, I don't know, grab a board, nail it there. I feel like this was made in like a grade 8 woodworking class. Oh my god. Oh my god, that is so dilapidated. I'm terrified for the train. Yeah. The supports don't really make sense, you know? Like, you run this all the way to here. It should actually be ran to the corner. But then they're like, we just need to reinforce it here. But then going in the opposite direction here. Like, this thing is set to just... They're not reinforcing each other at all. It's hilariously bad, but I'm not mad at it either. And like, this is just floating. Why is this floating? Why? I mean, okay, well, first of all, I am straight up deleting this one because it's floating. But yeah, this is a hot mess. It's a hot mess when you look up close, and the design of it. Yeah, what were you thinking? These are floating, absolutely just floating. Oh boy. Oh, is this? Hold on. Let me undelete the other one I deleted. I just realized something. I'm on pause mode. Look at that. It like magically reconstructs itself, but it's still floating. Here comes the train now. I didn't realize you built this out of all animatronic boards. I was just saying earlier on in the episode that there are so many choices of wood in this game that, yeah, that threw me for a bit of a surprise. So what I'm gonna do is reconnect your fake support beams that have no rhyme or reason. If you're gonna make a bridge, guys, probably not a bad idea to like research how bridge supports work. Maybe it looks a little bit better now. Yeah, now that the bridge magically sucked itself back together, but it's still, I think these are supposed to be like cross across. I don't even know. Like, I'm not an architect, so I don't really know. But when I look at something, I'm like, yeah, that looks right. And when I look at something that doesn't look right, I go, that doesn't look right. So when I'm eyeballing it, it doesn't look right to me. But from a distance, you know, a passerby or a glance, if we're back here and I look over there, I go, yeah, that's a bridge, right? So am I going to send this back? No, because it's a bridge. It makes sense. It looks like a bridge. But when we were up close looking at it in pause mode before the pieces sucked itself back together, it was a hot mess. And now I understand why the creator said to place a trigger in. Now, the trigger, if we grab the object again, well, let's grab a new one. Let's see here. It says trigger, right? But isn't there, you have to include a sequencer, right? Look at it again now that it's all dilapidated. So there should be like a little computer that has all these objects attached to it, right? Because you select the object, because otherwise I'm gonna have to yeah, that's annoying. That's super annoying. You didn't include a computer. So there's like this little computer where you can link. I did that with the what was it called? The sci-fi station. So they had all of their triggers, all these things and crazy stuff was linked to this little computer that they had an arrow to. And that way, if I grab this, it had everything set to the sequence of events. And then when you add the trigger to the train, it triggers that sequencer that has all those things set to it. That way, all I have to do is put your event timer down on the train tracks and then select what would be the computer. So I've never really done triggers. So I'm wondering if there's a workaround way where if I grab the train and we go to triggers, edit trigger sequence, add a trigger. Oh gosh. And we place it about here is where they wanted it. And we're gonna call this, what is this bridge? Bridge plot W09. Always good to stay organized. Okay. Now we want to connect objects to the trigger. Oh, so I'm just gonna select everything, right? I think so. That's a lot of stuff. Confirm. Oh my god. Okay, that wasn't so hard. I was panicking for a second. They really did a good job at making trigger sequences quite easy in PlanCo, didn't they? And done. We have a train passing by. Let's wait for the next one. Where's the next one? How many trains do we got going on this? Meep meep. Choo choo. Okay, we got one coming in now. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the dilapidated bridge is going to crunch. It's so stupid. Okay. Let's, that didn't look right to me. Edit trigger sequence. How do I grab it now that it's there? Oh, here we go. I'm gonna move it to the middle of the bridge. So when most of the, or maybe even like the end of the bridge, because when all the weight of the train, you know, gets onto the bridge, that's when it should trigger. It triggers early and the bridge is like, I'm gonna fall before you get on me. It looks so weird. Unless I made the bridge backwards. Did I put the bridge in backwards? No, I couldn't have. Could I have? It's possible. Or maybe what they thought is that the bridge or the train was going this way, but pretty sure the train was in the setup park. Okay, we got one coming in now. Let's see if this looks better. I don't think it's ever gonna look great because it just crunches, right? Looks about right to me. And it grows back. It's so stupid that I like it. The bridge makes not a lot of sense. It just crunches and it's silly, but you know, it's a community project. I'm here for it. It's fun. You brought in a tree for me. Oh, I delete. See that? If I undo and I delete this, I lined that up pretty closely. There was another tree right there. So I had an alignment tree. Nice. All right. Would you look at that? We got a bridge. So I have, I'm trying to think here. Looking at the recording, it's 45 minutes. How many did we get in here today? We got this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the bridge there. So we got in 5? Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? It's not that many. It's like, well, should I keep going? But in terms of Western as a whole, how many more do we have? We have 6. I want to keep going then. We're gonna get one more because we need like a hero of this episode, right? And none of these builds have been very big. So far, Dana's the hero. Dana, you're my favorite build of the day. This is great, but only because you had probably the largest plot of the day. All of them are good for what they've been given. And as much as I meme on the bridge a little bit, it's fine. The bridge is fine. It looks like, yeah, get an engineer to take a close look at it. Why is this support on the outside? There's so many flaws that I can pick apart on this, and it's so wonky looking, and it just like randomly cracks as the bridge goes over it. It's hilarious, but I'm not mad at it. Like, it's a bridge. You see it from the distance when you pass under it by the coaster. You're not really going to question it, but when I take a close look at it, I start to see the flaws, and I start to like, literally my QA brain starts to go crazy. So I just got to like move on. But for this episode, and we have, you know, there's not a lot of plots for Western. There was 11 total. So if I do 6 on this one, we're halfway there. But I feel like every episode should have something monumental. And if I look at what's coming in the future, I believe Kiara is working on Zaphor's boarding station. We have Chance plot, my plot. Oh, this big boy, the park entrance. Yeah, so if we like do all of that, plus whatever this giant build is here, it's gonna be not very even episodes. The next episode when we do all that is gonna be epic. But what I do have finished and ready to go is the Miss Ellie boarding station. So why don't we do that? W11. And this is Train Station with Path by Hollywood 488. And I believe Hollywood made our Dex R coaster over here, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure Hollywood made this enormous coaster. And now they're doing a boarding station for Miss Ellie. So I have high hopes for this one. Ellie's Train Station. Good googly moogly. This is exciting. Ah, you colored the cube. I like that. Wait, we got double alignment cubes? Oh boy. I don't know if that makes it harder or easier, but the fact that you colored them is great. I love that. Okay, this is tough. I gotta focus. I'll read what they have to say on the Steam page in a second. I think I nailed that. It's almost perfect. The bigger the blueprint, the more sensitive this widget is. Yeah, that's pretty good. Does the other one line up? The other one lines up. Look at that. I don't think you can get any better than that. Yes, the front is green. That's because it's overhanging a pixel. So yeah, that's pretty good. Let's place it. Whew, I'm nervous. Nervous and excited. So what's all this? Blocks are rough, layout only, face and theme the whole path. Wait, so batch, oh my God. So they had a theme, the queue, the exit, and everything. And this was their volume cube. You can see how big the train station is. It's going in and out a little bit, pretty much nailed that accuracy. And if we go ahead and delete all this, and I want to delete this cube, but it literally deletes the building. So we'll go into edit mode and manually delete these pieces, as well as these ones. Don't be deleting buildings now. It's not selecting this one. I can't get this one. Oh, it's outside of the group? I really want to make sure I'm not deleting anything. Got it. Whew. Hopefully nothing's missing now. Wow. This is great. The only thing that's missing is Ellie. I mean, she's over here. Does she need to be here? Let's see what we got here. Miss Ellie should be somewhere in our custom ThemeMaker toolkit stuff. So we have the small one. We have glowing animated, as well as, wait, what's the glowing animated one? I gotta see this. Wait, that's actually animated? Whoa, that's kind of cool. Maybe we should trigger that. So when the train like comes into the station, she like pops up. That might be fun. Right? Like somewhere in those windows, she could like poke her head up. Whip. I don't know. That could be an idea. For now, I think we can either have like a little one here, right? It's a little bit redundant with the one over here, or I could put her up in the window. So she's kind of looking out. How about just standing on the balcony? I'm indifferent, undecided, but I think that's not bad. And yes, it's a little redundant because she's over here as well, but we use the small one here. This is Miss Ellie's frontier. She's gonna be up here as well. So she's gonna be everywhere. She's got her, it's her frontier, it's her quick draw, it's her train station. Really a hero of all the Planko characters. So yeah, okay, let's take a look at this thing because this is absolutely nuts. Really, really nuts. So the quick draw ride actually interacts with this, if I'm looking at this correctly. Yeah, it passes over and through this train station. There's a double interaction with both the quick draw as well as the train, which is crazy. That build looks awesome. It's got a lot of presence. It's enormous. There's depth and undulation. Look at that. It cascades backwards. It's got a lot of those nice Western trims to it. Great usage of color palette, you know, not just going with like all the same brown, 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 brown. You have the hits of white that make it pop. I think that is a nice touch there. Little integrations of green. It's quite nice. Is there any way we could have added a little bit of red to it to go with her hair? I wonder. Maybe not. Maybe some of the ribbons, the windows. No, that would stand out too much. No, I think that's fine. I mean, you got the red rock, right? From this perspective, there's plenty of red. Okay, yeah, that works for me. Miss Ellie's station. So apparently, when I placed this blueprint underneath, yeah, I'll show you guys here. If we grab it again, where was it? This guy. Yeah, look at that. So there's all this like crap underneath it, right? So they had to like build all of this to make the queue. So there's stuff underneath, which allows us to get the path that was kind of like predetermined. Well, wait, that's the entrance to the quick draw, right? Oh, yeah. There wouldn't be a queue because you need a path to get up here. And then the, wow, this all went in quite nicely, didn't it? The entrance and the exit should be up here. And then the exiting guests should be coming down here. Wow. Yeah, we have like a little bit of red rock problems. Is this... I'm a little nervous. Like one thing that always makes me a little bit nervous is sculpting. It's like, am I gonna... I don't want to accidentally push or pull anything outside of the park. But I'm using a very low sensitivity. Oh gosh. No, it's like locked. I think it's because... Okay, I'm gonna undo. I don't want Batch to have a heart attack. I think that sometimes when you have pathing on top of stuff or coasters, it doesn't want to move the terrain, and I'm having that issue here. And it looks to me like the builder didn't put any roofing in, so I'm gonna leave it. It's fine. Look at all this. This is cool. Interactive train station. Wow. This way, y'all. I like that. Instead of like an entrance and an exit, you got a this way, y'all. I like it. And up and in we go. Wow, look at this. Immediately I had that thing cross my mind again. When I see something that looks right, it looks right. When I see something that looks wrong, my brain goes, that looks wrong. Immediately when I look at these, my brain goes, something's wrong here, right? Am I the only one? This feels like it would collapse on itself. I think it needs pillars, in my opinion. If I go into the build here, now I don't know if this is missing because the builder was like, I ran out of pieces. Guys, if something doesn't make sense and you need more pieces for it to make sense, pause it, then make it make sense. Use the pieces. Go over if you have to, because I need you to make it make sense, even if it's over budget. So if I duplicate this, slide it down, match it to these ones, I don't know if it should overhang. Whichever way we do it, it's gonna overhang. But from the entrance of the ride, I feel like it should be looking like that. Place another, and one more. Done. Now when we come up into the train station, it looks like it makes more sense, right? Ah, crap, they're all floating. QA! Now if I just sink them in, yeah, that should be fine. Wait, yours are floating too, not just the ones I duplicated. The originals are also floating, and they are all slightly off, not aligned. I think I got them all selected and nothing else. Just drag them down just a little bit here. Now these guys over here also floating. All your shit's floating, dude. I think that's like a problem with my QA brain, especially when I'm building things. I have to make sure that like I check every little nook and cranny to see if things make sense or not. I think that's a little bit better though. Overall, when I came in and I saw, it's like these arches, they look decorative, but they're supposed to serve a purpose. People don't put arches into buildings for them to look nice. They put them in to make them structurally sound. And if they're just holding it together and bracing it, but all the pressure is coming to a point, that point needs to be supported by something, otherwise it's going to collapse. At least that's how I think it works. So yeah, all of the pressure of the building is forcing the energy of the building to one point. And if that point is a big foundational pillar, then it should be structurally sound. That makes sense to me now. While it does add a lot of pillars to the station, I don't think that's strange. In fact, it kind of gives you this cool look as you're coming through here. Now, there were some lamps on these ones that I didn't duplicate, but I think that's fine if they're just on the outsides. We have plenty of lighting in here. Speaking of lighting, yeah, I gotta look at them in lighting and add the builder signs as well. Yeah, this is cool. What does the sign on the exit say? Y'all come back. Oh, that's an interesting window here. I like the shape of that. It's different. Very, very, very cool. And I like the balcony back here. You could see the shooting ride. It's got this open concept. Very, very neat. The benches is a nice touch as well. And here comes the train. Look at that. Let's watch it go in. Dur, dur, dur. Wow. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's do some last minute stuff. Ooh. Looking at the nighttime lighting. I like it. We got any nighttime lighting for Not Dana? Not lighting. Very nice. Nice, nice, nice. One little lantern here for the little hangman. And what else do we have? Oh, the little mine train. Makes sense. Oh, that's cute as well. Everybody nailed the nighttime lighting. I don't suspect the bridge has lighting. Doesn't need it. And there it is. Wow, what a glow that has. What a presence. We have the Ellie's train station in. I had to get something big in for this episode here. Let's get some builder signs going. I don't know if everybody included them. I started placing them with Not Dana's, and then I stopped. I lost my train of thought and started doing something else. See, for a sign, like a build like this, I feel like we should just hide it. right? Because it's so big that it like almost obscures the whole build. So I think like placing it like that would probably be the smartest idea. And who built this one? This was Svenny, right? Svenny. There you go, Svenny. And we're going to take another one and place it in for this guy over here. We're going to do a little build by sign. Sink it down. Tilt it in. And who was our builder here? I'm losing track. I got to do this one by one. Was this Waffles? Let me go to their workshop. This was Waffles. Waffles. And I'm going to pull it up just a little bit. I don't like how it's poking out there. There. Waffles. And did we get one in for Coaster Crits? And last but not least, we'll get one in for the train station. Yeah, I like this kind of like as you're coming into the queue, you can see who built it. And that would be Hollywood 488. They don't actually capitalize their name, so I'm going to respect that. And there we go. All of the builder signs are in. Ellie's train station. And now I'm looking at my recording. It says 1 hour and 7 minutes. Even with editing, we must be close to an hour. Must be. So you guys like these long, lengthy Project Planko videos. And in the past, I just like find things to talk about, ramble about random things, give you guys some transparency, some behind the scenes, thoughts on things going forward, little questionnaires and stuff like that. And going forward from here, I don't need to do that because we have so much content. So what I try to do from here on out is just use this hour or half an hour to an hour, depending on how I'm feeling, as efficiently as possible. So there we go. We got a whole 5 new six placed things. I actually have this bridge ready to go. Sorry to Coaster Gnome. I think I remember seeing some screenshots of this on Discord. It seems to me like I'll just show you guys here real quick, but we'll put it in for the next one. That's not it. The dilapidated bridge. Yeah, so we got some crazy bridge here. That looks pretty structurally sound. That looks pretty dense and heavy. So that'll go in over here in the next one when we also place in these things. It's a lot of important ones going in for the next time we visit Western, but 4 of them are assigned. I haven't even started on mine. I bet you Chant hasn't even started on hers. So I'm going to have to nudge myself and nudge Chant. So until those are in, we're probably not going to visit Western for a while. So I was pretty excited to go check out some new Western stuff here today. And that's what we did. What we'll be doing next, we already touched on sci-fi and adventure, so maybe we'll head over to fantasy next, or the Christmas Village. I don't even know, maybe we have some stuff for Tiki Island over here. Tons of exciting stuff, and at this point, I think it's the smartest way to approach this is to just switch it up, right? Switch it up as we go. So I'm thinking fantasy might be a good option next for us, but some of these areas have a lot more plots than others, so we'll be revisiting them multiple times. So I'll try to leave Western for like way later on. We'll revisit Western after we bounce around for a little bit. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, that is our first look at our Western builds for Project Planko. Looking amazing. Great job from all the builders here today. I have no qualms with any of them. I made memed and laughed on this bridge a little bit. It's quite hilarious, but at the end of the day, I think it's pretty solid, even though it's not. It's great though. Yep, good job everybody, and that's going to conclude us for this video here. Still undecided on the release schedule, just an FYI. Don't know if we're going to 2 a week or whatnot. At the time of me recording this, I don't have anything else lined up, so unless I bang out a whole bunch of them, the release schedule will be determined by how many I can do. So I'm just going to keep going at it, and the more I get done, the more videos you guys will see. So I'll see you all in the next one. Bye now.